David Montgomery is now a Chicago Bear. Devin Singletary is now a Buffalo Bill. Josh Jacobs and NKeal Harry is catching passes from Tom Brady.
Oh my.
Montgomery and Singletary have bounced back and forth, being my number one ranked running back heading into this 2019 NFL draft. Now, David Montgomery and Devin Singletary have been neck and neck for me all offseason. I think both of them have top 5 to 10 running back upside for the future. Singletary has been my dark horse, and a lot of people haven't even had him in their top 5 running backs heading into this 2019 NFL draft. Singletary in Buffalo is fantastic. David Montgomery in Chicago is also fantastic. These spots are ideal for both running backs. Now, starting with David Montgomery, out of Iowa State. In 2018, he ran for 216 yards at 4.7 a carry, 13 TDs, and he's capable in PPR, pulling in 22 receptions for 157 yards in 2018. The year prior, he had 36 receptions for 296 yards. The guy can ball in PPR. Don't worry about that at all. The guy's a tackle-breaking machine, breaking tackle records left and right. Don't think for a second that Chicago doesn't know what they're doing. And don't think for a second they won't use him as an every down back in that Bears offense in 2019 and beyond. Yes, there is a role for Tariq Cohen. Tariq Cohen will continue to play the role that he played last year. He's a receiving monster. And while the presence of Cohen can definitely limit the receiving production of Montgomery in his first year, in the long term, Montgomery's going to be fine, and he'll eventually develop into a PPR monster. But for 2019, Tariq Cohen's value is safe. He is a PPR guy. He's not built to run the ball 200 times. There is room for both of these guys in this offense in 2019, with Cohen being a borderline top 15 running back, with Montgomery being a borderline 8 to 15 running back in 2019 as a rookie. Montgomery is special. Make no mistake about it, he has top 5 running back appeal. Anybody suggesting he hasn't watched the film. The guy can't be tackled at the NFL level. He's going to have double-digit TD potential every single year. David Montgomery, a top 5 to 10 running back for the future, and a guy that's going to dance around that 8 to 15 range as a rookie. David Montgomery, you have just been Smitty approved. Devin Singletary out of the gate in January was my top rookie overall heading into 2019 and the 2019 NFL draft. Now, he's only danced in the 1 to 3 range. I have not knocked him outside of my top 3. Him and David Montgomery have kind of gone back and forth based mainly on team interest. The fact that Devin Singletary hasn't looked to be the guy that a lot of teams were targeting. He's in Buffalo. He's now going to be the future of that Buffalo rushing attack. I'm extremely excited about Devin Singletary, even though I believe that both Montgomery and Devin Singletary will remain top 5 to 10 running backs for the future and for years. I give the edge to Singletary, and I love his situation for the long term. We'll see how much work he gets early on in 2019, but he is the future of that Buffalo Bills rushing attack, and I think by mid-season they will unleash him. At Florida Atlantic, during his 2018 season, he ran for 1348, 22 touchdowns, and pulled in just 6 passes for 36 yards. But in years past, he had 19 for 198 yards, 26 receptions for 163 yards. The guy can pull in passes, no problem. In fact, despite his very low PPR numbers from 2018, I'll venture to say that he could be a top 5 PPR running back in fantasy football within 1 to 2 years. He's one of the most elusive running backs that's come out of college in the last 5 years. He is an Alvin Kamara type running back. He can run between the tackles. He can stop on a dime. His start and stop game is unmatched, not only at the college level, but I believe already at the NFL level. It may take him until midseason depending on how they use him early on, but by midseason, this guy's going to look like the running back that I've been talking about for over a year. Devin Singletary, you have just been Smitty approved. We got NKeal Harry landing with the New England Patriots. I couldn't be more excited about my boy NKeal Harry. Been predicting it for months that he'll be a top 1 to 4 fantasy football wide receiver within 1 to 4 years. Not so crazy now, is it? With Gronk retiring, a lot of target share out there to absorb. NKeal Harry is going to have a ton of opportunity right out of the gate. He can go up and get a football with anybody, and I think his spatial awareness, his spatial intelligence, you cannot teach. NKeal Harry, you have just been Smitty approved. Josh Jacobs is in a pretty darn good spot, I will admit. Although his small resume isn't really his fault, he played alongside of Damian Harris. They were dominating opponents left and right. There just wasn't a need to run either of them into the ground. I get that. It's a good thing in some ways because there's a lack of wear and tear. There's just a little bit of concern to say he hasn't taken a full college workload. What makes anybody think it'll translate and he can play a 16-game season at the NFL level? He's probably going to be very prone to hitting that rookie wall in 2019. Depending on how they use him, maybe they ease him into things and he ends up just fine. I think Oakland should have drafted a quarterback or another wide receiver to kind of help Antonio Brown and Josh Jacobs and revamp this offense into the future. So I think they made a mistake there. I do think Jacobs will do well in Oakland. I'm just a little skeptical that he will be the number one back when all is said and done once we get through the second and third round. People have been underestimating, and they will continue to underestimate this running back class until the evidence is sitting right in front of them come this time next year. NKeal Harry, Devin Singletary, David Montgomery, 3 players that are going to dominate in fantasy football for the coming years. This draft class is way better than people are suggesting. Subscribe, follow, get some.
Hey Smitty, I got a trade offer for you. You give me Alvin Kamara, and I'll give you Todd Gurley.